What is financial stability and debt management? And why is it important for young people to live within their means? This, plus many more, are some of the questions that we'll be answering in today's discussion, our topic of discussion, which we have termed financial stability and debt management. So now, to break this down, I am not alone as usual in the studio. I have with me an awesome guest, this one. Trust me, the only thing I can proudly say right now is that, because I went through his profile, is that he is an international award-winning author, and he's a health professional. Yeah. So now I'll give him the platform to introduce himself, who he is, what he does. Yes, everything like that. So, sir, the floor is all yours.
You've actually introduced me.
No,
I'm Isaac Pomboloka. I'm Isaac Pomboloka. I write books.
Okay.
Yes.
I feel like there's more to that.
I think that's what's important. I write books. What else? What else can we talk about? I think the name is what's important anyway.
I said what you do. You just said you write books.
Yes, that's what I do.
But I feel like it's not enough.
Okay. No, it's more than enough actually. You see, in Africa, we are so much preoccupied with giving ourselves titles, and when it is time to deliver, you fail to live up to your titles, where you blow your trumpet so high that you fail to reach that level. I think I do believe it's okay if people just know you by the name, then you're like, who is this person? Then when it's time for action now, they're like, this is how it is. So I think the name is just enough.
Okay. You heard it. He is Mr. Isaac Pomboloka, right? He's an author, and then just that, as he said it. So as I said earlier on, that our topic of discussion today is financial stability and debt management. So now we've actually categorized this among young people because this is something that we have actually noticed, to say young people find it difficult to live within their means. Young people find it difficult to actually manage their finances, and you find that somebody wants to live a life that is actually not their own, and at the end of the day they find themselves into a number of debts. At the end of the day, they will fall into depression and end up killing themselves. We have seen such cases of students who have actually indulged into such activities, and at the end of the day, they actually committed suicide. So today we are talking about why is it important for a young person to be financially stable, for a young person to live within their means. So let's go on with the discussion. So according to you, what is financial stability and debt management for a young person?
Okay, I'm excited that I'm a young person as well.
Yes.
Though in the next 5 years I'll cross the other side of youth, and I'll be saying, you young people. Yeah. So ideally for me, financial stability is, I don't try complicating things or picking from textbooks. So for me, financial stability is about someone having choices to do what they want to do. And that is what is important to me, and that's what should be a preoccupation of every young person. The ability to have choices. Okay. Get the point, right?
Yes.
A poor person don't have choices. They don't have choices. For example, if you are sick, you have no choice other than to go to a government hospital or a clinic, and if they don't have the drugs or medication, you have no choice to even go and buy those medication. You get the point, right? Which means you're not financially stable. But if you're financially stable, you have a choice to go to any institutional hospital that you want. So for me, financial stability, I look at it as the choices. How many choices can you manage to have with the current level of wealth that you've accumulated? For me, that is what is important. For me, if I want to go to a particular school, am I going to look at my finances? Let's say, for example, I want to go and eat from the restaurant. The first thing I see the moment I go there, instead of checking the menu from where the meals are written, I start checking from the prices so that I can check the cheapest one. Then I now go back this side to say, oh, okay, so the cheapest one is this. You get the point, right? So for me, it's about having choices whereby you walk through the restaurant, you just eat without even paying attention, not being check the price of the food. Now the question is, how many choices do you have as a young person? Okay, how many things are you able to do with the current money, with the amount of money that you've saved, you've accumulated? And when you look at financial stability in such a way, you stop thinking at it in terms of money. And that's the greatest mistake that people make. You start thinking at it in terms of value. You get the point, right?
Yes,
Because money might not give you as many choices as you want, but value can give you as many choices as you want, because there are so many types of like wealth. It's not just about monetary wealth, like liquid wealth. It's the list. You can have wealth in terms of real estate. Maybe
Yes.
you have built some property somewhere and stuff like that. If you are stranded at one point, then you want where to sleep, definitely you are going to have a choice. You get the point, right?
Yes.
But if you don't own any building and anything, then it means that you're actually financially unstable. Another example that I can give you is the simplest way, where you want to buy a car or you want to go somewhere. Okay, if you don't have money, you don't have a car, what are you going to do? If you have a friend who has a car, you call the person to say, can you give me a lift to go somewhere? Then the person is going to come through, right? Then you are using social capital.
Yes.
You get the point, right?
Yes.
So in short, a person might not have as much money as they want, but they might be rich in terms of social capital. And that also contributes to their financial stability. Actually, financial stability, much of it has more to do with the networks that you build, the social capital that you build, rather than the money that you're accumulating. So for me, as I said, financial stability is just about you having choices to do what you want in life. If you want to go to your university, are you going to go to Umukoro Development Community School? That's where you're going to take your kids. Or do you have a choice to say, okay, let me take them to Lusaka International School, or let me take them to Chadri, or let me take... You know what I mean, right?
Yes,
so the question is, how many choices do you have? And when you talk about debt, for me, there is no such... debt is not bad in the actual sense. And I love how you phrase it to say, debt management, because there is bad debt and there is good debt. Actually, most of the people that you know now who have built and who have done massive stuff are actually doing that using debt. One of my mentors told me to say, if you want to build an empire which is bigger than you, the financing should come from outside you.
Okay.
That's what the person told me. So most of the people that you see right now, they're actually using the money which does not belong to them to do the things that they're actually doing. I once had a chat with someone who is a very big person in terms of real estate. And I was asking them to say, how have you managed to build as many houses as you've managed? And this person told me to say, actually for the start, the only money that I had was to build 3 houses. When I built them, I went to the bank and I placed them as collateral to get a mortgage of money. Because once you build the houses, they are going to be evaluated, right? They will say, okay, these ones are worth 4 million, which means the bank can give you that money. And when he was given that money, he went ahead and built some more properties using the money that the bank gave. So as people are paying rentals in these houses, the rentals are going to where? To pay the bank monthly for the mortgage that he got. And these now properties are new. It does the same thing. Now, he values these properties, goes to the bank to say, I have these properties, and then he gets another mortgage and starts building. By the time he realizes he had a lot of houses, and he told me to say, in the next like 15, 20 years, I'll be done paying all the mortgages for the bank, which means the own monies that will be proceeding from there will be what? Will be my own money. And that person will definitely be financially sound and stable. What money did they use? They got other people's money from the bank, and they used it to finance their project. So there is no such a thing as... debt is not actually a bad or good in its actual sense. It is a double-edged sword. You can use it to cut your enemy, or you can use it to cut yourself. It's how you look at it. It's about your perspective. That is what is important. So for me, that is what young people need to start understanding. Now, the problem nowadays is coming in the actual sense that young people are using debt to finance their lifestyle.
Exactly. That was what I was coming to. So now, looking at how young people are living, especially those like students like myself, you know, when you go to school, there's actually a lot of influence in school. So you find that in there we find people of different statuses. Now we take it to social class, right? We have the low class, the middle class, and the high class. They're all there in one place like that. So you find that you're coming from a low class or maybe a middle class, and then you get influenced there. You see such things. It's nice to look at, and it would be nice for you to live. You see the nice clothes, you see the nice shoes. People go out during the weekends. So should you just remain in the room, your friends are having fun. You get right. So at the end of the day, you find that young people are actually finding themselves getting loans in order to dress nicely, in order to look nice, to be able to go out on the weekend like that. So my question is, why is it important for young people to live within their means? All right, because with this, it means somebody is going beyond their means in order to just fit at a certain type of class where you actually do not belong. And then you find somebody has credited. I was reading this story of a student who actually was trying to purchase a car. I don't know if you came across this story.
Yes,
Was trying to purchase a car and then
Go swindled in the way and
yes,
stuff.
getting debts. At the end of the day, those debts actually led him to take his life like that. So why is it important for a young person to live within their means?
Yeah. So one important thing that we need to understand is the word instant gratification.
Okay.
So the reason why most of us young people are actually struggling financially and drowning in debt is we don't want to delay our own gratification. Like, what I mean is that you want to enjoy life right there and then at the expense of the money that you don't even have. Now, if you look at that angle, you're going to understand that there are different blankets. There are people, as you have said, you are coming from a rich family, and there are people who are coming, they are earning money or making money or getting money from different sources. Now, because money doesn't show on someone's face where it is coming from, you might be tempted to actually be able to also compete with the person whose source of income you know nothing about. Therefore, as a result, you start now showing off, living a lifestyle so that you can show off to people who are even broke using the money you don't even have yourself.
Okay.
So as young people, the most important thing that you need to understand that you don't have to spend money you don't have to impress people that you don't even know. That is where most of the problem is coming from.
Yes.
So when you understand that, you begin now to plan your future and your life accordingly so that you should be able to raise your financial muscles to the level where you can effectively say, I am able to actually achieve this. I tell people to say there are two types of statuses. There is what is called an achieved status.
Yes.
Something that you earn, like you earn as you become a person. And there is also what is called an ascribed status. An ascribed status is bestowed on you based on the social class that you belong to. If I'm coming from a rich family, it doesn't mean that I'm rich. You get the point, right?
Yes, yes. Okay,
if I marry you, and they say I'm a millionaire, I marry you, you drive my cars, you stay in my mansions, and etc., etc., etc. When it's time to let go of you, what would remain of you? You lose much of the wealth that you said you have, right? Even if you say, okay, we're going to divide this much, but because you have not developed and grown to the level of sustaining the wealth that I've given you, then what you are going to get will not even last. It will just be a matter of time before you are reduced to ashes. That's why you've seen people, a lot of people have been winning millions day in and day night in terms of gambling and stuff like that. When you are given a million kwacha, you are not a millionaire. You just have a million. Because a millionaire is a status. It is an achieved status. But a million can be given to you. Now, here is what is happening to most young people. They are going out there with sugar daddies or sugar mummies and etc. And those people begin to finance their lifestyle, right? They are, in short, feel like they are there already. They change their levels, their class, their state, including the food that they're eating, the restaurant and everything. All those things changes about them, right? What happens now when the person now diminishes in value and those people are no longer there to sponsor this person? Because the mind is already exposed to a certain lifestyle, they'll try as much as possible to go into debt so that they can appear as if they're still at that particular lifestyle. And what follows is disaster. Because this person already had an ascribed status because of the people they were associating with. But I always encourage young people to say, always strive for an achieved status, because an achieved status is bit by bit, you are growing your financial muscles, you are earning money so that you can actually maintain the lifestyle that you are in. And avoid changing three things whenever you are doing that. Changing where you stay, changing what you eat, and changing how you move.
Okay. So avoid changing 3 things.
Yes, because that is what is drowning people in debt. The moment, let's say you are making a 2,000 kwacha every month, the moment maybe you start making a 4,000 kwacha, if you are staying like in a one-roomed house in Kabwata or in what, you say, I think this boarding house, or let me actually start, you know, you want to change now where you stay because your financial muscle has increased. And as a result, you are increasing the demand for your money and you're not increasing your financial stability. You get the point, right?
Yes.
You are okay with eating soya chunks and eggs. The moment now you start earning a 4 pin, you say, that's when you realize that Impo Shadi Lula. You get the point, right? Now we were seeing you with KFC, with Hungry Lion, with Parks each and every time in your rooms and etc. like that. You have changed what you are eating. You get the point, right? Now, all this while you are comfortable with a bus. Now, because there is a 4 pin on your in your tumba, what you happen to say, you start ordering yangos and etc. 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 You know what these are doing? They are actually increasing your expenses. So you might look like you are doing fine, but in the actual sense, we are broke. That's why we have a lot of highly decorated people who are struggling who are in financial, who are struggling financially. Why? Because they are quite all right earning money, but they are not keeping the money. Because what is important is not how much you earn, it is how much you keep. Now, if you are, every time you have some good monies, you automatically increase your style or you change your lifestyle, you are not keeping any money. What is happening is that you are just adding more on your expenses. As a result, if someone earns 30,000 kwacha and they're able to keep like a 500 kwacha, and someone is earning 4,000 kwacha and they're able to put their expenses to 2,000 kwacha, which means this person is more financially sound and stable than the person who is earning 30,000 kwacha. Because it's not about how much you are able to make, it's about how much you are able to keep. That's what's important. How much are you keeping and investing? That's what's important. So as young people, we need to be having honest conversations with these discussions, because the fancy display of these fake lifestyles that we're having, you end up actually, boasting to your destiny helper, and your destiny helper will start calling you boss. Okay, so we need to be very, very careful with how we are trying to. I'm not against having some nice. I love good things myself. I love good things. I love enjoying life. If I can manage, I can afford it. I love eating well. You get the point? I'm not against that. Yes. But the question is, at whose expense? That is why we have a lot of young ladies nowadays, because they want to keep up appearances. Now they're actually, private parts are suffering now. You get the point? For them to finance their lifestyles now, private parts are suffering in turn. And as a result, what is now happening is that the person who even have the guts to even call me broke, because I can't send them the money they want, let's say for Hungry Lion for supper. Meanwhile, themselves, they can't even finance their own lifestyle. It's okay to have a good lifestyle. It's okay to have a lifestyle. But the question is, are you able to finance your lifestyle yourself? It is quite unfair to live a lifestyle depending on other people's money. And moreover, the money that you don't even have. That is why debt is becoming a cycle. We are ever drowning in debt because we're failing to manage our financial lives in that life. Wow.
Hey. I just love the point where you said, don't change 3 things. And this is that I have a friend of mine who said, right now my salary has increased. I'm even thinking of shifting from this 2-roomed house to a better house. I mean, I can't be earning this much. So I need to shift. So I actually relate to that point where you said, don't change 3 things. Be who you are. Just remain you. Yes, once in a while you can do that, but that doesn't mean that has to become the new norm, right?
Yeah, that's
okay. So now we've talked about why is it important for somebody to live within their means, all right? Because this is something that we as young people are actually struggling with. So now moving on, let's talk about budgeting tips. Like what's practical budgeting tips can you recommend for young people to in order for them to live a financially stable life where they don't actually have to depend on somebody to finance their lifestyle, to depend on somebody to make them maintain that lifestyle that they want?
First and foremost, what I advise people is that, especially if you are renting a property or if you are paying rentals and etc., don't rent a house which is going to take more than 25% of your income.
Okay.
That's the number one budgeting key that has worked for me. So if you're earning 2,000 kwacha what is the 25% of 2,000 kwacha? You're going to find that it's 500 kwacha, right? So if your salary is 2,000 kwacha, stay in a house which is at least 500 kwacha or less. That's the number one thing. So the rental money shouldn't go beyond the 25% of your income.
Okay.
If you're earning a 10,000 kwacha, the 25% of that is to 5, right? Don't go into a house for 5,000 kwacha. Go in a house for at least 2,500 kwacha. That's number two. Number two, that's number one. Number two is there's a difference between your needs and your wants.
Okay.
You can want quite a lot of things. You want that beautiful iPhone. You want there's so many things that you can want. But if you want to actually build your financial stability, one you need to look at it, first and foremost is to take care of your needs. Are you able to eat? Are you able to bath? Are you able to have where to put your head? That is what's important. And when you are budgeting, look at your budget shouldn't be filled with your wants. It should be filled with your needs, the things that you really need. Because if you have a shelter, if you have food, if you have clothes, then you can actually continue working and saving up as you build your financial muscles so that you can even achieve more greater things in the future. It's okay to start small as you think big. And everyone does that. It's okay to start small as you think big. What is not okay is for you starting small and remaining small.
Okay.
You get the point, right? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay to start from just financing your needs and stuff like that as you are building the capacity now to actually be able to satisfy what you want in life. So that's the second thing. And the number three thing is that don't borrow money to finance your lifestyle.
Okay.
Actually, don't even borrow money to start a business.
Okay. Oh, so you're supposed to raise the capital on your own. So don't go get a loan from the bank.
So the business that you're not willing to invest in your own money, I'll assure you that the money from other people is going to work. So it's okay to, as I said, a lot of people are actually using other people's money. They are getting mortgage and just have to finance them, right? That's fine. But the point what I make is that, the fact that you start a business doesn't mean that it's going to actually give you profit even tomorrow. So there are a lot of things that happen around the business thing.
Yes.
So you'll find yourself in debt and you'll be locked up in debt. So what is important is that as your business grow, if you start a venture and you know that it has been giving you some money for quite some time, at least for a year plus consistently, then you want to grow it or take it to the next level. That's when you can say, okay, I think maybe let me look for a way in which I can bring in more resources or more funding, because it is a tested and proved idea, which you know that you are guaranteed that it's going to give you money because it has been giving you money constantly for at least 6 to 1 year. Get the point, right? But don't go and borrow money from someone that you want to start a business. A lot of things happen, and most of the ideas that we tend to have might not work for you. And when that happens, where are you going to get the money to pay back that? So don't borrow money to start a business or finance your lifestyle. You get the point, right?
Yes.
So try as much as possible not to do that, because it is going to lock you up in debt. Whatever little money that you'll be having, it will be going towards financing your debt, such that even your budget will be affected. You'll start struggling to pay rentals. You'll start struggling to buy your food, and you can't hustle on an empty stomach. So if you want to actually make sure that you are financially sound, abide by those 3 things that I've mentioned.
Wow. Just wow. So now, how can young people balance enjoying life and experiences while doing what? While staying financially responsible? You know that enjoying life doesn't mean that it has to be expensive, right? Okay. It doesn't mean that you have to be expensive enjoying life. Like if you have a 200 kwacha, actually, you know that you can enjoy life with a 200 kwacha very well. That's the thing that we need to understand. You see, enjoyment has been externalized by young people, and that's where we're getting it all wrong. Happiness has been externalized. We're trying to look for happiness from external sources. What I mean is that we have a generation which is well dressed and yet so depressed and stressed. So we're looking nice outside ourselves, and yet we are so depressed. And as a result of that depression, we think the only source of our happiness can come from outside. That's why we have a lot of young people are into drugs now. We have a lot of young people are abusing marijuana. We have a lot of young people, like a lot of young people who are abusing alcohol. Like on a daily basis, they are in clubs, they are buying alcohol, and the consumption of alcohol in young people is so high. I've never smoked, I've never tasted alcohol my entire life. I'm 30 years right now. Wow. And most of the people, I don't criticize or I don't condemn people who do that. No, don't quote me. Actually, most of my friends do that. And it's okay. What I'm trying to say is that
it becomes a problem now when an external factor becomes your source of your happiness or enjoyment. If you think the only way to enjoy life is when there is alcohol, if you begin to think the only way to enjoy life is when you are high on drugs or something, if you think the only way to enjoy life is when you are in those expensive and fancy or beautiful places, if you think the only way to enjoy life is when we have a big car or you have an expensive phone and stuff like that, when you begin to think happiness and enjoyment outside yourself, then you're not going to be happy. Never. Because external factors are not the source of the happiness. Happiness is something which is internally driven. Okay. So a person who doesn't have shoes, you find them very happy even than you have shoes. A person who doesn't have a leg, you find that they will be busy enjoying life as compared to you even have everything that you need. You start looking at them to say, look at these people, they're enjoying their lives and stuff like that. And yet you are depressed yourself. Meanwhile, you have legs, you have everything. Why? Because happiness and enjoyment is an internal thing. So as you look for enjoyment, even 100 kwacha, you can go out, you treat yourself to a drink. You get the point? You treat yourself to a drink. Or you can even treat yourself to a nice movie. A movie should be a 50 kwacha at whatever. You get the point, right? So what I'm trying to say is that enjoying life should be detached from thinking that you need money, more money to enjoy life. No. Of course, there comes a time where you build your financial base. Now you are able to enjoy some trips. Take yourself on a trip. Go to Zanzibar, go outside, maybe go to UK, take yourself on, and because why? Because you can afford it. Trust me, I once heard Abe Ongandu once spent 400,000 kwacha on his birthday. I think you remember Engineer Abe Ongandu. He spent 400,000 kwacha here at Chicago's on his birthday. I don't know if it was Granddaddy's or Chicago's. 400,000 kwacha when he was celebrating his 50th birthday. And you know, during his interview, people were asking him to say, don't you think that was too much? He said that is actually 0.1% of my net worth. You get the point, right? So you might look at him like, no, he's overspending and stuff like that. He said, that's about 0.1% of the money that I have. So he has reached at that level. Even if he spends that much, it's not going to affect him in any way. Some of us, if we spend the 10,000 kwacha the previous day, we wake up crying and, you know, and we almost were trying to commit suicide the following day because we realize that the money for rentals, for food and everything is gone. So the point I'm making is that these things are in levels. Don't try to live the level you have not yet reached. Build and grow to that level. Then you'll start enjoying life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So in case you're just joining us, this is Temmie Talks, and our topic of discussion today is financial stability and debt management with my guest, Mr. Isaac Pomboloka. He is helping us understand why as young people we need to live within our means, why as young people he has even actually given us a clear distinction of what enjoyment or happiness is. He made it clear to say happiness actually shouldn't come from external factors. Happiness is something that is driven from within you, so you don't have to depend on drugs, you don't have to depend on being in fancy places or wearing nice things as a form of happiness, because happiness is something that just has to come within you. And I love the point that he raised to say, if you want to be financially stable, as you go on increasing and developing in terms of your finances, do not change 3 things. Do not change where you stay. Do not change what you eat. What else did you say?
And how you move.
Yes, do not change how you move. So if you were comfortable using a bus when you were earning a 2,000, continue doing that. If your salary has increased, that doesn't mean that you should now start depending on your.
Because if you're managing well with a 2,000 kwacha, and all of a sudden God blesses you, you start having a 4,000 kwacha. Start saving that 2,000 kwacha and investing it.
Wow.
Whilst as you maintain your expense at 2,000 kwacha. You see, God will give you based on what, not based on your prayer requests, on your intercessions. God will give you things based on what you can manage. Okay. The principle of life is in management. What you manage multiplies. It's as simple as that. So it's not about the number of prayers that you do. Actually, if it was about prayers, Africa could have been the richest country. Africa produces billions and billions of prayers on a daily basis. And when we talk about people who are actually financially sound, people who are moguls who are very wealthy, most of them actually, they are not even Christians. So it does nothing to do with prayers, because God created this universe in such a way that it has principles, and it doesn't care whether those principles govern this earth. And the principles don't care whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are what. No, the principles do not care. One principle I can mention is the principle of gravity. Okay. We don't care whether you are 10 years old, whether you are 5 years. If you are on the roof, on the top of this building, then you want to fall, you are going to fall and you injure yourself. That principle of gravity will not be like, no, this one was just born yesterday, please, can you pardon the... No, it is, the universe is created that it obeys principles. Mm-hmm. Whether you're a president, you'll fall. Mm-hmm. You experience the principle of gravity. Mm-hmm. Whether you are a lady, it does not care. That same applies with the principle of management. Mm-hmm. So if a Satanist is able to manage their finances effectively well, their finances will keep on multiplying. If you are a Christian, then you are mismanaging your finances. There is no prayer point or anointing, the amount of anointing oil which is going to save you, because you are breaking the principle. So when you know how to manage something and you manage it well, then it is going to be multiplied. Let me give you a story of Joseph. Mm-hmm. Joseph, when he was with his brothers at his father's house, they said he was a very good person, a very good son, such a way that the father was very proud of him compared with the rest of the brothers. Mm-hmm. What happened? They started feeling jealous and they had to sell him into slavery. And Pharaoh now and Potiphar now had to out to buy him. What happened during that time? The Bible says Potiphar succeeded because of Joseph's presence. Because of how well Joseph was able to manage things, he was given everything to manage except the wife. You get the point, right? Mm-hmm. Until the wife tried to do something else, and again he was sent to prison. And when he went there, the Bible says that he was a very good manager, in such a way that he was even promoted as captain of the cell. And you see, so what kept on working well for Joseph was how well he was able to manage the things around his jurisdiction. Mm-hmm. And such a way that even when he was appointed as prime minister of Egypt, he managed the entire country at the age of 30 out of the famine which came. Mm-hmm. You get the point, right? Yes. Such that even neighboring countries now started coming there looking for food, because there was no food in other surrounding places. Why? Because he was able to effectively manage things that were in his circle. Learn to manage the thing that you have. Mm-hmm. And the God is going to multiply what you have. And it's just in a short possible time, the things that you want will be manifesting and will be added onto you, because God will be able to see to say this person is able to manage this. That's why even the parable of talents, the person who had one went to bury it in the soil, and when the person came to say, no, I was scared of you, I don't want it to lose it, I had to bury it in the soil, and it was gotten from him. The person who had 2 talents and multiplied it to 4, he was given more. And the person who had 5 and multiplied them to 10, he was given more. So it's about the principle of management. Young people need to understand that it's not about the number of prayers, it's not about the number of money that you make, it's about how well you are able to manage the little that you have. Because if you are able to manage the little that you have very well, then doors of opportunities will be opening, and the capacity for you to manage even bigger things will be opening on your way. Because people will be able to entrust you with more, because they know that you are a very good manager.
Wow. Just wow. So now we've talked about financial stability, we've talked about debt management, and I remember there's a point that you said to say, don't get money from somewhere to start up a business, but you can do that you can get, if you want to modify your business, or you already have something that is existing and you just want to modify it, you want it to grow, and you can do that. So have you ever found yourself in a situation where you maybe have a business, you have a project that you want to modify, and you actually got a loan, you actually got money from somewhere? Have you ever done that? Or
No. I've never found myself in a situation where I'm running something or I'm running a business, then I go and get big funding somewhere so that we can run a business, especially from early stages. Because I had a very painful experience back then. I think when I was just starting out, I had some brilliant ideas, and these ideas needed money, and people trusted me. I had to convince them this is going to work, and later on everything couldn't work, and I was left with 600,000 kwacha to pay back to people, and they wanted it to paid back
600?
Right there, and then 600,000 kwacha.
Oh my God.
And by that time, I was working, and the only money that I was making was 6,000 kwacha. And these people wanted money not next week, not next year. They wanted that money now. Oh my because God. They said, we trusted you that this business is going to work. And it took me years to actually pay that money. it took me years to pay that money. And through that process, I learned quite a lot about how to manage debt, how to manage the little money that I have. And it was a painful experience. So from that time, I've never put myself in a situation where, okay, this is something that I want to do. Let me go out first, I get the funding so that we can finance this. I've never actually done that.
Okay.
Yes.
So to those young people that actually do that, you want to modify your business, yes, it's all right.
I think I encourage you growing bit by bit.
Yes.
Because what I've come to understand and what I've come to realize is this, right? If you are given a lot of money right there and then, it builds your ego. You begin to boast. You begin to actually, you buy fancy cars. You begin to think and look down on other people, and you begin to think like you're the only one who is happening and stuff like that. It will build your ego, right? But when you are earning your money bit by bit, you are reinvesting the little that you are making. It builds your character. You get the point, right? And you learn how to manage it properly, because you know how much it took you to get where you are. So you are careful in terms of how you are trying to actually invest your money. So what I encourage with young people is that bit by bit, it's not about the resources that you have, it's about how resourceful you are. Be resourceful in such a way that learn to manage and grow bit by bit with the resources that you have at that particular time. Someone will be telling me to say, I don't even have resources, I don't even have 1,000 kwacha. Meanwhile, they're using iPhone 16. What an irony. A lot of people keep complaining. Imagine someone is using iPhone 15 Pro Max and they're saying, I'm actually looking for 4,000 for capital. It's not the 4,000 you actually need. It's about, you need to be an effective manager, because if you're really serious that you need the 4,000 to start a business, you could have sold that phone and you could have started your business. But why is it that you're using the iPhone 15 Pro Max and yet you are saying, I'm looking for 4,000 to start a business? It's not really the money that you need. It's about, you need to be resourceful. And resourceful is the ability to actually be able to utilize what is in your jurisdiction to grow and build something. You get the point? That's what I encourage people. So bit by bit, there are a lot of opportunities there, even for funding or for grants if you want to. If you're running organizations, whatever stuff, you can apply for many grants. Actually, grants are the money that they just give you so that you can actually do and work on your ideas and etc. There are many grant opportunities out there, and look out for some grants, okay? Look out for some grants, because that no one is going to ask you to actually pay back the grant and stuff like that. But in terms of you going out there so that you can get the money, it's something that I don't encourage. Of course, we have different options and choices, but I always encourage people, unless you reach a level where now this is it, you have proved your idea, it has worked, and you want to say, okay, I'm at a point where I think I need more money now to actually grow it and take it to the next level, to scale it up. That's the one way I encourage people to actually now say, okay, what partners am I going to bring on board?
All right, so as we wind up, what's a final piece of advice for young people seeking to achieve financial independence?
Be happy. That's it. Be happy. Everything is an illusion. Financial stability is an illusion. In trying to attain financial stability, most of them have actually neglected themselves in the process. And at the end, by the time they are more financially stable, they have even lost the true meaning of why they even wanted to be financially stable. So it's a journey. Financial stability is a journey. Even the people who we are calling the world's billionaires, as we speak right now, they are working day in and day 24/7 so that they can actually keep on. So it is a journey. So as you pursue financial stability, don't be in a hurry. Be happy. Enjoy your life. Enjoy the journey. That is what is important. The process is what is important. Even when you achieve your destination, you realize that what was more interesting is not the destination, but the journey you took as you are trying to go to that destination. So just be happy, enjoy your life, don't be too quick, and don't let social media deceive you into thinking, no, you are behind your timeline, no, that one is 25 years old, is driving my Benz and stuff like that, me, I'm 30 years. I think, no, you are not. The problem is that you're trying to compare your real life to someone's photoshopped lifestyle on social media. So just take it easy, be happy, enjoy your life, enjoy yourself, and work one day at a time. And trust me, it's going to work out. It's going to be well with you.
Yes, well, thank you so much. So this has been Temmie Talks, and our topic of discussion today has been financial stability and debt management. With me is Isaac Pomboloka, who is our guest, who helped us to understand the importance of debt management, and he actually brought out a lot of things that you can actually learn and look out for as young people in order to be resourceful and to attain financial stability, which he calls an illusion of of course, where he says you just actually have to be happy. You just need to take a life one step, day by day at a time. Do not rush, because when you rush, you will actually clash very soon. All right, so this has been Temmie Talks. Right, let me thank my guests for coming through. So thank you so much for coming through to Temmie Talks. I'm actually very much humbled for the insightful information that you actually shared, looking at the fact that we are losing youths at a young age, which is very bad, losing youths because of failure to manage their finances, failure to manage their debts and everything. So what you have shared, I believe if any youth who comes across it, any young person who comes across it, will actually be able to get one or two things from that. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I truly appreciate it.
All right, so this has been Temmie Talks. Until catch us next week, same time, same place. Bye-bye.